So, what do your friends call you, Robert?
Call me, Robert, 360 Wise,
Robert,
360,
360 man, 360 wise.
Yeah, yeah.
So you live and work out of Miami.
Live and work out of Miami.
And you flew up, you do another business in town, or?
Well, no, I flew up specifically for you.
God bless you, man.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
So you've worked with some incredible people and kind of ahead of your time, even in this digital mediascape, I think, right? You built an empire out of this, and you've worked with incredible people.
Right.
Some have referred to you as a media guru. Have you ever heard that?
A lot of times.
All right.
A lot of times, yes.
So what's it like? What are some stories? What comes to mind when you think of your body of work so far? What rises to the top as an experience that you want to share?
Every day is actually a different experience. There's, in my life, there's no hallmark, I should say. They're all hallmarks, right? Clients are partners. It's like a takeover, jumping into the matrix. Imagine, let me rewind it back. And when I say jumping into the matrix, I come from a space where I had no clue about Twitter. My cousin called me from D.C. I'm from Washington, D.C., relocated to South Florida, and I was doing music. My music was positive music. I've always been anti-dumbing down, meaning, with the pants sagging and woo-woo-woo, stuff that doesn't help the community. I've been against that from day one. And it took a second to realize that I have a lot of people cheering for me.
Because of that?
Because of that. But the negativity overwhelmed the positivity, so it was going nowhere. And with it going nowhere, it meant getting on publications, getting the visibility necessary. At this time, we're speaking in 2000.
Right.
Year 2000.
So, Robert, when you say negativity, you mean just the general negativity or specifically against you because you're trying to go positive?
No, not against me,
but
because they didn't even know my story and where I come from. I was speaking about negativity in itself. There was one individual, and, he's deceased now. God bless his soul for whatever course that actually is. His name was Q. And he ran a platform called WorldStar.
Okay.
And they had our people jumping off of bridges, jumping off of windows and everything. I mean, it was ridiculous, but it was called WorldStar Hip Hop. And I'm like, there were a lot of old hip hop legends that were trying to get them to take the hip hop terminology off of the word WorldStar. So
because of the
association of, they were degrading women and things of that nature.
Right.
Anything goes. This was a terrible point of time in 2000. It was very beneficial for them. They made a lot of money because the media makes a lot of money off of negativity. So I created War Star Hip Hop, and a lot of advocates and activists, they were like, how are you going to create a war star hip hop? I said, well, we're going to go to war against that.
I see.
Right. And in the midst of doing so, I found myself going deeper and deeper into a technology rabbit hole that I had no clue about. Didn't go to school for it at all. Then my cousin calls me and says, you got to get on Twitter because 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather are going back and forth. You got to jump in and let them know that you on the platform. I didn't know what Twitter was. So fast forward, I got on the Twitter, started becoming active on Twitter, started engaging. I started to get a feel of what this social media, and it was awesome to me. Listen, and it's still awesome today if a person is on there for the right reasons. And what was awesome about social media at that point for myself was the ability to speak to people all over the globe.
Right. You had access.
Right? Oh my gosh, all over the globe. And okay, here's a hallmark. I could proudly say, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, that if anyone pulls up any of my data since I've been online, there's no negativity.
It's positive.
It's all positive.
So why didn't they call you Robert Positive? Or Bobby Pause. Bobby Pause.
No, I guess it.
I don't know if everybody can say that.
No. I mean,
because it likes to pull you in.
Oh,
it likes to pull you in.
It likes to pull it really does like to pull you in, and then as time has progressed, and we have had different platforms that have emerged. So you go from Twitter being the king of the mountain, then you had Facebook slide in. Those were two different platforms at the time. And then you had Mark start buying up Snapchat and then switching into Instagram and woo. And now the whole globe is interacting, right? And each channel says something and does something else.
Different. Each one's hitting a different nerve, different platform. And but you know how to use that too.
I know how to graciously, yes. I know how to interject into each and every one of them. I know how to interject into the algorithms of each and every one of them because, media, social media, Google, everything, runs off of a different speed and it changes continually. This whole everything dealing with media, just like society, changes extremely fast. The problem is a lot of our folks are living in a delay. So I try to stay ahead of the curve.
And you help them be on the front of it.
No question about it.
So each platform has there are different algorithms at play, but there's also a different culture, right? Among the users.
Yes.
Even the same person using 3 different platforms, they're engaging in a different culture in each platform. So you survey all of that and you know how to work it for your clients.
No doubt about it. I mean, you might even say, what's Pinterest? And Pinterest has been around for a long time. And someone might think about Pinterest off of the homemaker.
Right. Putting up Etsy craft kind of stuff. Yeah.
But, Pinterest at the same time, if you're continually tapping into their algorithm with that photo and a link that goes back to what you're actually trying to show them, gives you a strong Google footprint, right? And a lot of our people forget that no matter how many platforms are out here, the king of the mountain is that footprint, which is Google.
Right.
And as we continue to advance with ChatGPT and different AI components and things of that nature, remember, it took a long time for them to take the phone booth off the street, to take the rotary phone out the house, for a lot of our people to get adapted to mobile.
Right.
And that's just about as how long it will take for that switch to occur. And when that switch occurs, when it comes to digital footprints, we're already integrating at the exact same time.
So we're describing the technology, the advancement in communications platforms. But what I hear you saying underneath this, Robert, is it kind of feels to me like it's not just about your voice. You have been on a journey to find a way to have a certain community that couldn't necessarily be heard, and positivity be heard. And it's like you're trying to give positivity a voice. And so you're studying what the dynamics of this landscape to learn how to use it. But underneath all of that, you seem to be like on this 20, 30-year quest to really give positivity a voice. Is that correct? And where does that come from, if so, in your life? Where does that nature come from?
Well, that's totally correct in the way that you described or your analysis of what these footprints are that I'm walking in. Can take it back 1 second and actually say that I've never, and we have never, 360 Wise itself, my wife, she's the co-CEO, Tasha, I've never advertised. We've never done for ourselves what we do for others.
Interesting.
At this moment, I'm now beginning to flare up, consider it as the man behind the curtain, because there are different shifts that are happening, and I'm doing that purposely. But it's always for our clients. And how did we get here? Okay, so humble becomings. I mean, like when much is given, you've got to give back a little bit more. Like my life is a movie, a real motion picture movie. Like very, very deeply engaged in coming from humble beginnings, single.
Washington, D.C. Big family, small family?
Just I had a twin. My twin passed at birth. So it was just me and my mom.
Wow.
She separated from my dad. I was born in New York. That didn't work with my mom and my dad. Moved back to D.C.
So she moved to you. So single mom, single son, one child family.
Just me and my mom. I could take you back to, she's working 2 and 3 jobs and she's going to school at the same time. It gets hard, welfare. I remember going up to the neighborhood market with the food stamps and everything. Like it gets, and I remember promising that if I ever got in position, my mom would never have to go through this. Because as a young male in an urban environment, no brothers, no sisters, I'm looking at families differently than families act. And what do I mean by that? So you would actually see a family of 10 siblings, all on one porch. Don't mess with them. It's 10 of them. You get me? But they're bickering with one another.
I see.
They don't even
don't realize what they've got.
They don't realize what they have. So you're kind of a loner and you kind of have to stay strong, and the environment builds you into you're either going to be ate or you're going to eat them. It's Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna fast forward as I'm going. So how do I get my mom better things? Because in my mind, it's my mom needs we got black and white TV. My mom needs a color TV. How are we going to do this? She needs a remote control TV, not the remote that you plug into the TV with the cord and you turn it. Like we're all the way in beginning phases.
Wow.
Like I go back to Atari 2600 and, Genesis. You're just playing table tennis on a television, right? And you start to get into what your environment is doing, and that's selling drugs and trying to be cool for the young ladies. And then you realize that was a trap, and then you got your grandma praying for you.
Where was Grandma?
Grandma Redmond, and my great-great-grandma, Grandma Redmond, she lived on Rock Creek Church Road. Grandma Eloise lived on Lamont Street. These are 5 blocks apart. Me and my mom, we lived on Webster Street. That's 6 blocks apart. So we were all in Northwest D.C.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm from uptown D.C.
Okay.
Right.
And then how often did you see each other?
Grocery time coming, Grandma come and scoop us up, or scoop me up, make sure that I get whatever I want, because whether the car was working or not with my mom, I'm talking humble beginnings. But,
I hear you. Your mom, because that you described, the family across the street with 10 siblings. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, as a son, I'm hearing you talk about you want to provide for your mother. So you're seeing also your mother's vulnerability, I assume, right? Mm-hmm. There's like, she's a single mom working hard, who's taking care of her, and you want to provide for your mother. Mm-hmm. Were there also values? I want to continue with your storyline, but just along the way, were there values that your mother was instilling in you along the way?
Core values, and the values were always towards the higher power, and so that means that Washington, D.C., born in New York, raised in D.C., Down the street was St. Gabriel's Catholic Church, right? So we were raised in the Catholic Church. I was raised in the Catholic Church.
Is that just because that was the church you could get to by foot, or was your mom raised in the Catholic Church also?
Well, actually, my mom's mom, Grandma Eloise, that lived on Lamont Street, she had a lot of dealings with the what is that? Episcopalian. Yes, the Episcopalian. Oh no, Episcopalian, but it's a big one in D.C. Presbury, United Methodist Church.
Okay, United
Methodist Church, right? And then so my mom's dad, right? Because my grandma and
were they still together? Was Granddad in the picture?
They got my granddaddy Woodrow. They got separated. Grandma Eloise and Granddaddy Woodrow got separated. So Granddaddy Woodrow owned a church in Chicago, South Side. He had a big mansion on one corner, the church on the other corner.
So he was a landlord or he was a preacher?
He was a preacher. Owned the house and the church right there. And I remember, because I would go there in the summertime, and, so religion and God has always been instilled, has always been there. And different levels of that. So we'll go from my mom had some questions for the preacher, and the preacher couldn't answer them.
Okay.
And then my mom goes to Islam, right?
Wow.
So my mom's going to Islam. She's walking around. Everybody's looking at my mom, and then
is that unique?
Oh, it was totally
on the block.
It was totally unique on the block.
So wait, now you're standing out even more.
Even more. Even more. Even more.
And you felt the negativity?
The negativity was you realize that it was negativity when you come out from it, right?
Okay.
Speaking,
right.
I'm living in
because you to survive even. You got to be a part of whatever's going on just to survive.
That's correct.
You're already standing out enough as it is.
That's correct. So the fellas come to my house. My mom is giving you couscous and eggplants, and they didn't even understand that then. But we fast forward right now, and healthy living is healthy eating, right? But let's go even a step further. So now the police are looking for me because I'm not coming home and I'm not going to school. I'm out running the streets, and they gave me a warning. They basically said, you're going to go to Boys Village, right?
That's like a juvie?
Oh, it's total juvie, right? Or you're going to have to go away to some program somewhere, and you don't have too much time to think about it. If we get called back out here again because you're not showing back up for home, you're not meeting your curfew, that's it.
So you're like 16 here? 15, 16?
I am 15 at this point. I'm 15 at this point. And at 16, I chose, okay, no, I'm not going to go to Boys Village. Just send me the Teen Challenge. Whatever this is, take me to Teen Challenge. I end up in Norfolk, Virginia, right? 3 years in Norfolk, Virginia. But Teen Challenge...
Is that a government program or is that like a Christian program?
Teen Challenge is a Christian program, right? Okay. And David Wilkerson, he founded Teen Challenge. And it was more so for adolescents and youth that were having troubled experiences, whether it's violence, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's truancy issues, things of that nature. They only accepted a certain amount of people to come in.
And it's like a discipline program.
Total discipline, to the point that you had to learn the entire Bible from the beginning to the end. And I'm seriously, and the curriculum there was a Christian curriculum that was like a 2-year advance. What does that mean? That means that when I graduated from that curriculum, if I would have, and I'll get to that point, but the 12th grade in the Christian curriculum that they had was equivalent to a bachelor's degree. After I hit the 12th grade, it's equivalent to a bachelor's degree.
We're almost talking seminary here. This is not summer camp.
No, this is if you're not doing what we're telling you to do, you're going to be up all night with a toothbrush, and you're going to be cleaning up the corners of the kitchen floor. You're going to use this toothbrush, where this is real discipline. Wow. You had people from the Army that were missionaries, and part of their missionary service.
I heard of this program. Yeah, I got you. So how was Mom behind you on this? Like she was...
Oh, it was no choice. Yeah, she
was she worried for you? I mean, was she? Yeah, I mean, she must have been worried for you when you're running the streets. But she was behind this program.
She was totally behind it.
But she didn't see you for 3 years, or do you sometimes?
Well, she came up. Her and my grandma. They came up maybe about 3 or 4 times.
Okay, and come and say hi.
Yeah, come up for a visit.
Give you some supplies. They're allowed to give you some.
And they'll send a little supplies over you, just like. Yeah,
that's
but
great.
But it molded me. It molded me, and then I came home for a home visit and saw everybody was making money,
doing the same thing.
They was doing the same thing. Everybody was driving Jettas, Porsches.
Maybe
Benzes.
A few faces missing by this time. A few people gone.
Well, while I was gone, one of my best friends got murdered. By one of my other best friends, because
oh my God,
it was but it was street. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened, and it was that street life, but listen, praise God that I wasn't there when all of this. So at this point, we're now talking 85 for sure.
Okay,
we're in 1985 right now.
This episode of the Peace Starts With Me podcast is brought to you by our merch store. Check it out at peacestartswithme.com/collections. We have apparel and accessories for the whole family, including backpacks, pins, aprons, shirts, baby onesies and bibs, and more. Show your support and go to peacestartswithme.com/collections.
We're in 1985 when it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Washington, D.C. is the murder capital of the world, and the news is saying it all, right? I go home on a home visit. I see everybody. Temptation. Look how temptation creeps in. I go home for a home visit, go to a house party. No one has seen me. And mark you, this is an excerpt from the book that I'll be writing in. But my mom told everyone that I was dead. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so people are coming.
So that's the story rolling around when you were in camp.
Yes.
It was because you died or?
Yeah, so I did the Machiavelli before Tupac did Machiavelli, is the disappearing act. They all thought that I hung myself. And then hung yourself turns into different ways that he got killed or woo, and this is the word on the street. So when I show back up, people are falling out, thinking they're seeing ghosts and woo and things of that nature. And
so you go to a house party, and they're
on a home visit.
But you mentioned you were at a house party on your home visit,
right?
And temptation's there for you,
right?
But there's also this dynamic where people are shocked that you're even alive.
That's totally correct. And this is a minute portion of people, because this was my cousin.
Just those who knew you.
Yeah, my cousin Omar had the house party.
Okay.
So, so it was just a select few that from a whole nother side, northeast side. I'm from northwest, northeast side.
Yeah.
And it was just one night, right? That one house party. But that one house party, and I'm seeing everybody's making money, led me to leave Teen Challenge instead of getting my diploma. And I was 3 months away from it. I went and took the GED and got the highest score in all of Northern Virginia.
Wow.
Came back home, articulating my words, still speaking about Christ, and they didn't want to hear it. So I'm like, y'all are brainwashed, right? And they're like, you're different. After they realize that I'm back now, and I've got to get my own place at this particular point. Mom is
okay?
in Virginia. Mom is good. She's in Virginia. But Mom's upset that I
Didn't finish
I
the
didn't
program.
finish because I already, Professor Lovett at Hampton University already had it scheduled for me to slide straight into Hampton U.
Wow.
I turned my back on all of that, listening to the whisper.
I see.
Right? Listening to the whisper, looking at temptation, right? And then temptation and the whisper took me on a whole nother ride because I'm an adult now, right? I'm 18 years, I'm 18 years old. This is...
and now you've also kind of got freedom is a new flavor because you've been on this really tightly controlled program. Yes. So now you're an adult. You can free to make your own choices.
Yes.
Nobody's looking at you.
Yes. Yes. And it's me against the world type of scenario, right? And not to harbor on that so much, but our youth are going through that daily.
Sure.
Right? Our young, all colors, cultures, and creeds, they go through that daily. Whether they're living in it for real or they're looking at it on Instagram or they're looking at it on television, and television is on your phone at this point. They're going through these same circumstances that I just clarified in just different aspects, which all correlates into the reason why I've been blessed. I don't contribute anything to myself. I'm humble and I'm thankful that I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Right.
So this shaped your life. When did you get back? When did you, your journey of, the free choices that you were able to make again? When did you decide to build the voice of positivity? How old were you?
I totally decided to build the voice of positivity after I was facing 75 to life. You see how this goes? This is how the devil and the whisper will get you totally ensnared. Everything that you think is glamour and glitter and woo, it's temporary, right? And all of my so-called friends caught a RICO charge, right? The conspiracy, double CE, they had it on the news. This is when they were raiding all of the spots in Washington, D.C., right? And my neighborhood was one of them, and they had to throw somebody under the bus. So it was me.
It was you.
So it was me. And I was, I was going to be their sacrificial lamb, so they thought, right? And I had a choice. I could have took a cop to 25 years. Or I could afford it. And if I lose, it's 75 to life. And I just prayed, and I'm like, you're going to give me all or give me nothing? And I sat in there for 2.5 years fighting this case. First trial was a mistrial, 9-3 the government's favor. The second trial, all 12 not guilty. And I promised the Creator, you let me out of here, I am never going to look back.
All right. That's your moment of reckoning. Right
you see? Yeah. Yeah. And it's, I mentor young youth in Miami.
In the community now.
Yes,
so you're serving, you understand how to relate and guide these. So what program are you running in the community now?
Well, not per se running. There's a optimist. Yeah. So the, what is it? It's the Miami Overtown Optimist Club. It's a Overtown in Miami is a district, is a landmark.
Okay.
And they're gentrifying that as we speak.
Right.
But there's still a lot of youth in there that
losing their way.
Yeah, and it's like I had the opportunity to come and speak to about 15 to 20, and they loved me and want me back. And I'm like, I love y'all and I want to come back. But this stimulates from digital media. This stimulates from my online presence. This stimulates from acquaintances, partners, and business owners that I've met along the way based on the character value.
So that's how you got connected.
That's exactly how I got connected.
And your story kind of hits with them. They can introduce you to programs that are trying to help people that were in your position when you were a kid.
Well, the best thing about it, to magnify what you just stated, like you're the second person that, and actually the first that has heard it to this magnitude. Besides the kids, the first kids, the group of kids that I've spoken to. Like when I say I'm coming from behind the curtain now, no one really knew my story. They just knew it's something about this guy.
Right.
For some reason, and it's all God, right?
Right.
Because I don't wear it on my, you know.
It's not your primary song, but it's the drum beat behind it all.
It's the drum beat. It's the drum beat. It's like when I went to South Korea, when me and my wife went to South Korea to see Mother Moon.
Tell me about
that experience right there.
Yeah.
So that was written. You get me? Like everything is written, and we're living in a delay. The whole thing is you got to actually keep your pulse on that algorithm of life. And it's 2 routes on this. It's positive or negative. It's just real easy. It's really 2 routes. It's positive or negative. And it's going to lead you there. And if your heart is really there on change, the Creator is going to put you around change makers. You got to sincerely feel like this, though. A lot of people, they just talk it. They don't know the pain. They don't know the struggle, right? And I don't brag about money. I don't brag about cars. I don't brag about none of that. None of that is not me. All of that is not me. Because I've been there. I've lived that life. Yeah. I see how that goes. But to save people and to let them know that they could be doing better, that's worth more than money. Forget money. Yeah. This is what we're here for.
Right.
So you go to South Korea. I'm flying to South Korea, and I'm looking at all this and look at the Mother Moon and the Mother of Peace.
Yeah.
You get me? And I got my wife right here. You know, and I prayed for my wife when I was sitting in the jail cell. And I prayed for palm trees, mangoes, and kiwis. And I said what I was going to do when I get out. And it happens. It's all happening.
Yeah.
It's happening in real time. But you got to recognize it.
Right.
And you got to give.
Right.
Wholeheartedly. You can't be fake.
Right.
Because, you know, the real can smell the fake.
Right.
No ifs, ands, or buts. You got to have if your heart is pure in all you do, the sky is not the limit.
There is no limit.
There's no limit.
So it is written. You came to Korea with Tasha, right? Mm-hmm. What were you expecting to see? Like, I mean, not expecting, but what did you imagine it might be before you got there?
Let me tell you, we had no clue. All we knew is that we were going to a media conference.
Right. That was the World Summit 2020, right?
2020 World Summit.
Right.
And it's, you know, it was an honor to go to the media conference. Mm-hmm. And we got there and just looking at the greeting, just the whole setup. This is beyond red carpet. This is beyond, this is like never before. You got thousands of children and adults, youth and just happy and pure and happy to see you, and you're walking in between all of, it's then you have all the delegates, and you have someone from every country sitting at this table, that table, that table. Okay, you and Tasha, y'all gonna sit right there. You got your earplugs in so that, you don't... You
understand what's going on.
Hey, listen, I said to myself, I'm like, hold on, this looks like we're on the
UN meeting
or
something?
Right? And, oh, gosh. And it was, and then the delivery, the conversation, like Mr. Farrell had said. He said, what's local is global. Everything is right here.
Right.
It's talking, and when he said that, I'm like, holy smokes, he pinned it. But that wasn't it. When we went to the show, it was the marriage ceremony.
Right, the blessing ceremony.
The blessing ceremony.
What was your experience there?
Oh, we get into the bus. And it's cold, and we're riding through the mountains, and we get to this.
Yeah, because it's like February, right?
This is in February, right? We get to this part of it, and all of this is the mother of peace. This is, oh, that's her hamburger spot. That's hers right there, right? Listen, that's the gymnasium over there. This right here is beyond the amphitheater. This is the super center, and this is where we're going into.
Yeah.
Right? And then hundreds of thousands of people, and just the peace that you felt inside of that arena. Life-changing. And just to see the mother of peace speaking graciously, it was God right there. It's but it goes back. If you're not tapped in, you can't recognize. And see, a lot of our people, they're tapped into what they're programmed.
Right.
Right? And that's religion, not spirituality. That's not personal. We've got to all tap into a personal relationship with the creator of everything.
Right.
And then you'll be able to realize.
You can feel it. You can discern it.
Oh, Moses, Abraham, Jesus, they all, nothing's dead. It's all alive. It's speaking to you in real time. You just got to open your eyes.
Wow. Yeah, I heard a lot of feedback from people that experienced that for the first time. And whether we're talking friends in media or faith leaders, civic leaders, heads of state. I think at that event we had the former Secretary General of the UN, Ban Ki-moon was there. But, you got people on all sides of the spectrum, right? All sides of the aisle. But they all commented on the same thing. It's like, where else are we experiencing like all of these types of people coming together, not just to talk about peace, but like you just described, those who could discern it felt like we were already experiencing it.
That's correct.
Walking in it.
Yeah.
So why then the negativity or the misunderstanding or the, why are change makers, why are peacemakers such a threat?
I believe that, that was a heck of a question. I love that question. I'm going to slit it right in the middle. You got one side, and let's speak like of the mother of peace, that doesn't need anything from anyone. She's speaking.
Right.
What she's been designated to speak.
What? Yep.
Period.
Right.
She's not solicited. She doesn't need anything from it. But the other side, they're scrapping for the monetary. It's a. You get me?
Yeah.
So if you have this guy over here and these congregations over here, and they're racing to get some of them from their congregation to here and they're in the human side of this thing.
I got
here.
you. Yeah.
So someone on this side, like Jesus ain't asking for nothing. Jesus,
with or without you, this is it.
This is it.
This isn't a transactional like thing.
No, we're speaking, she was speaking and is speaking life.
Right.
Like, again, if, many are picked, but few are chosen. Oh, you go Matthew 19:16. Oh, good master. And Isa say, or Jesus say, why thou call thee good? Nothing is good but the Father above. If thou desire to make it to the kingdom of heaven, follow our commandments, right? So first of all, how many of our people that are out here walking this life, and they're intimidated by the mother of peace?
Because it's a threat on their way of life.
Oh, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
But what if they just, got to the point of experiencing what you're experiencing?
It's life-changing. But I really think that they need to. It's a media push. It's the devil is what we call it, is everywhere. So is God. It's a fight. It's going to be a fight. We got to push harder on opening up the minds and the hearts and the souls of the masses, right? We've got to push harder. You don't see the media. The media right now is talking P. Diddy, P. Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
They not talking about Putin just told all of y'all that we're going to worship Black Jesus.
Right.
How about that?
Right.
At the exact same time, right?
Yeah.
Well, how about and it's artifacts, and you can see it now.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm speaking to you guys about is someone that's living right now.
Right. Thank you.
Mother of Peace. She's right now. It's tangible. And that correlates into what I'm actually saying in my story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm blessed and I'm humble and I'm thankful and I am tangible. And I have a testimony, right, that can change your life,
Right.
right? If you only take it as it's real, I'm here.
Right.
It will change the same way that I derive knowledge from all the way in South Korea.
Yeah.
Mother of Peace. You get me?
Yeah.
They gotta open but our people are locked in. You gotta unlock them, right? That's 360 wise. Get out the matrix. Don't be afraid.
This episode of the Peace Starts With Me podcast is brought to you by our merch store. Check it out at peacestartswithme.com/collections. We have apparel and accessories for the whole family, including backpacks, pins, aprons, shirts, baby onesies and bibs, and more. Show your support and go to peacestartswithme.com/collections. So
what project are you working on now that you're most excited about in that vein?
So, I'm right now we're actually about to start just pushing individuals to own their own media distribution platform.
Oh.
Put a real dagger in it.
Ooh.
Because if we're going to offer it to you, meaning an actual way to circumvent algorithms, to make yourself the hero, and to get more people and more traffic to your site or to your product or with it at an affordable rate, because it's not about us, it's about the masses, right? Positive content.
Yeah.
Then we've built out a subset for that. You want to be on Roku, Amazon.
Right.
We're building that out as well. But
So you're now, because you are you work the platforms, but you've also developed your own platforms, and now you're giving people what you've made in a sense.
We're offering it because again, I'm so much. I've never been we're in the back. We have so many NDAs. We're pushing so much media from heavy listers out here that I still never see the time to push myself out there and talk about what we're offering. They hear it on your broadcast right now. We might splash it out a little bit, but we have too many things going on to continue to talk about. I've got this for you. I'm offering this for you. Woo.
So, speak to me, if you will, about working with MC Hammer Crump. What was that like?
Life changing.
Yeah.
Life changing. Like MC Hammer. I mean, just there it is again. The media, the misconception. He taught me one real valuable thing that he didn't even verbally say, and I found out later. Right. When everyone was talking, and because the world loves negativity, they want to be like, oh well, he went bankrupt. Well, you don't understand that bankruptcy is part of big business, and you don't understand that he was feeding his entire neighborhood. We're talking Oakland, and you don't understand that he had stock in all these platforms before they even popped, and now they kind of see it. And he allowed the system to play its game, but he's one of the top guys in the background right now for AI tech and everything that's going on, and he keeps it low key.
So he's ahead of the curve on that.
Well, he's always been ahead of the curve.
And misunderstood.
And unapologetic, not trying to make anybody understand it, because many have picked, but few have chose. I mean, for him to pull me in, and to the point that he helped mold me into, and this is while we're on Twitter and everything, mold me into what media is, what to do, what not to do, to the point to inviting us, me and my wife flew us in, go to the movies, have a surprise birthday party at his ranch. I mean, it's real family. It's nothing like that. It's It's no business relationship. This is family.
How did you first meet?
Just like this, doing the podcast. So
You're kidding.
he actually saw when I was pushing the anti-dumbing down in the whole beginning of this
He saw
segment.
that.
He saw that online. I reached out in regards to doing an interview with him. He said yes, and it was history from that point on. And, you know, kind of the same thing with attorney Ben Crump. You know, he introduced from Silky Slim. Silky Slim is an advocate for social justice. He has a tremendous story. He comes from humble beginnings and you know, criminal and crime and justice and things of that nature. He introduced me to attorney Ben Crump.
So
And
MC Hammer introduced you to Benjamin
no,
Crump?
Silky Slim. So I
Silky
went,
Slim.
yeah, just I skipped from MC Hammer
I
now,
got
and
you.
I'm over here on Ben Crump.
Yeah.
And again, I've been in the district attorney's office with a camera right there while he's doing a press conference. I got ABC, NBC, CBS, Associated Press right there, and I'm right here. I mean, it's like you would never think, is this really happening? Yes, it's really happening, but it goes back again. Where's your trust? Because these real players,
Yeah.
they've got to trust you.
Yeah.
Right? Again, they could smell what's real and what's fake from a mile away, and they got a whole team behind them at the exact same time. You know, because
It's not just the quality of your work, but your character, your background, your legacy.
that's everything.
Yeah.
And with that, you don't need a lot. You just need a couple of those, or you just need whatever God is going to give you,
Sure.
and you work it from there.
That's a really big message. That's a big message. I think a lot of people can apply that. What about, so what would you say you learned from working with Benjamin Crump?
No sleep. I still can't fathom how
How
he
you
does
can
it.
work with no sleep?
Oh man, I work with no sleep. I don't know what he does. I don't understand how he has to be everywhere
All
at
the
the
time.
exact same time, all the time. His entire life is dedicated to social justice. His entire life is dedicated to the the iniquities of society, and it's not just the black and brown. It's all colors, cultures, and creed. If it comes to his desk, if someone was wronged, he's going. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Johnson & Johnson or if it's Universal Records, right? It doesn't matter if you're wrong, you're wrong. If someone was wrong, he's trying to right the wrongs of make sure that they're compensated. You get me?
He
Not
cares.
just he totally
Isn't
cares.
that what helps him like stay awake and
That
be
is
everywhere at the same time?
and that is the core ingredient to success. MC Hammer, attorney Ben Crump, yourself.
It's not the money or success or the fame that's motivating you. It's the
byproduct.
purpose.
It's the purpose.
It's the purpose.
Everything else is a byproduct.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is a byproduct.
Mm-hmm. And by making that your engine, then it's much harder to buy you out. Much harder to sway you from your principle because that's not what you're in it for.
No.
It gets back to that thing you're saying here.
That's correct.
You're in it or you're in the...
Yeah.
You're at the tables or you're
you're
speaking it. You're doing it.
That's correct.
You're on point.
That's
I think
correct.
it's the same thing you mentioned about, Mother Moon, Father Moon. All we ever hear is the same about them. They never sleep. Never sleep. And you're thinking about making an impact on humanity. It's hard to put your head on the pillow for several hours. But it's the same thing that you're tapping into, that purpose. And I think you're able to speak a little bit today about your background. But I'm imagining I'm going back to the story you're telling me, and then but you also introduced Tasha to us. You mentioned Tasha, your wife, and then you got kids, right? How many kids
8.
you got?
We have
8
8
kids
with my wife. That's correct.
How
Yes.
old? What kind of?
Well, Keyshawn is 20, about 22, or 22 or 23. My youngest right now is, and forgive me, because yes, I forget ages because I have
in
them.
diapers or crawling or walking?
Well, my youngest Nana is 5.
5.
She's 5. My
So
oldest.
just starting kindergarten. So you got from like 22 to 5 range.
That's correct.
8 kids.
That's correct.
That's beautiful.
That's correct.
Oh, man.
That's correct. Homeschooling
yeah?
my young ones. Yes.
I put I put 2 of my kids through Dunkley High School.
Okay.
That's my name, Damien.
Okay.
Dunkley High School for like a year and a half because of COVID. We were also moving. We were moving from the East Coast to the West Coast and then to Asia because my job shifted to Asia, as you know.
Right.
And I wasn't leaving my family behind. You know, a lot of people find ways to do that, but Yumiko did not want to just send me off on some mission and she's back. So we tried to figure out how could we do this together. It's a lot harder,
right,
and probably much harder on the kids in many respects. But we stayed as a unit, and so by the time we left the East Coast, the school year was like, okay, I gotta get them into like a year of homeschool before I can settle them in Bangkok. We ended up moving to Bangkok, Thailand. But my kids always tease me about Dunkley High School because like I set it up for them, but that's not easy. Like I spent some time looking at it, but it's not easy to homeschool your kids. But I heard that during the COVID season, homeschooling went up like 15% because not for the reasons I was stating, but for the first time, parents were listening to what the teachers are teaching their kids on their laptops in the kitchen table, right? And so homeschooling went up, I think, because of that. But did you put all of your kids through homeschool, their whole?
Well, it was the same scenario. Once COVID hit, it's like we're definitely not sending our children to school. We're just going to homeschool. And then it's like, you know what? We're going to keep them right here and homeschool them maintain just like this. That's correct. Have a little bit more, as you stated, hear what the teachers are talking about. The morals and the principles are we could keep a glove on it opposed to, you know, a lot of times you send but this is society, but you send your child to school and, you know, your child listen, children are going to, however a person raised their children, it's how they raise their children. Just knowing how other people raise their children might affect your child. So it's different correlations on that thought process if they're homeschooled. And then you're still taking them out into society, but you have a stronger glove on what they're looking at, whom they're indulging with, who they're speaking with. I believe it'll be a stronger prospect of success moving forward, opposed to if they're out and about and their whole crew is doing everything else besides what your initial child was taught in the house. You know, it's kind of pump the brakes on it. Ultimately, what's going to happen is going to happen because what's written is written. They're all little vessels, little mini yous, little mini me's, but you know, the creator of the heavens and earth has a plan for them as well. That's
but
correct.
we can do a lot. We have a whole lot of, you know, influence on those years. What about family is important to you? How does your family protect you, guide you, stimulate you? What role does it play in your life and your work?
It's my drive. It's you know, to be a change maker and to desire to be a change maker starts in the home. And for my children to understand why I am so grateful to have met my wife and why they are here is because I met my wife through prayer, through humble circumstances. It is it's a definitely task to not abort from. So
it's one of the things I find for me, family is like no matter how, you know, we're talking earlier about purpose and you know, impact, and that drives me. But I often find, like, when I think about my family, like that's what's going to be in some sense with me forever. Like there's jobs and there's projects and there's changes that we got to make in the world and we're motivated to do so. But in some sense, all of that work is sort of temporary in some sense. It's like a stepping stone to some other change. But those family relationships, those connections, I feel like that's eternal, you know. And so I often experience that in my life when anything's challenging me or whatever. It's like, hey, you know, I got my wife, I've got my kids, I've got my family. That's, you often hear what people talk about on their deathbed, like, what do you wish, right? What do you wish you did different? Or what are you most proud of? Or what are your regrets? And commonly people say, you know, even the most successful, wealthy people, right? They'll say, you know, I wish I spent more time with the people I loved. I wish I spent more time telling the people I loved, I love you, you know, how much it means. And what is all that we're striving for? Even the people on the other side of the equation, they're just trying to fill a hole, whether it's money, fame, success, or, you know,
Right.
It's still trying to fill that same hole. We're seeking God's love. We're seeking each other's love.
Yes.
And so family is like that first church, first school, right? Yeah, it's important. It's important to me too. It sustains me. And okay, here's a final question for you. Easy question. How do we bring about world peace? No, I'm kidding. How do we, you know, in all of the kind of distractions, the confusions, the divisions, and perhaps in your life, living in the world we're living in today, describe to me how does Robert be a peacemaker? How do you see God working through you in a way when you're in a situation where there's confusion and distraction, negativity? How does Robert bring peace? How does peace start with you?
Knowing that peace is the ultimate, that's the ultimate equation. Like, if I'm not at peace with myself, I can't even propagate peace to someone else. And that means that I actually have to overstand all of those characteristics and qualities that you just mentioned that comes with being a father and raising the children, right? Because you love your children, I love my children, but we're all brothers and sisters.
That's right.
All colors, all cultures, all creeds. And we're against a machine. And the machine means that we have to continue to propagate peace. And peace is love. Peace is understanding. You know, peace is not looking down on someone.
Right.
You know, peace is letting them know, listen, we care, you know, wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And then you have to have that body of work, those footprints in the sand that someone can look back and reflect on and say, you know what, he's real.
Yeah.
And we need to multiply that and multiply it and multiply it and multiply it. And it's its own algorithm. And you can't take the gas off.
You're writing a book.
You can't take the gas off.
You know, anyway, I just really want to say thank you, Robert. Thank you for sharing your story from birth, you know, losing your twin also. I think I believe there's an association there. There's a relationship there. There's meaning there. And loving your mom, seeing, you know, just as a young boy, growing up in a world that, you know, should be better. And instead of being stampeded by it, you picked yourself up out of it. And not just to make your life comfortable or your mom's life comfortable, but that you're bringing it back to the community and you're bringing it to the world at large. And so I feel from you a real peacemaker. I feel your characters, we all have completely different, you know, backgrounds, upbringings, and various experiences, but I really feel in you a leader of peace who's coming to the same table that everybody else is seeking. And so I just wanted to thank you, appreciate you. For that.
And I appreciate you, and I thank you for inviting me here to your show.
Yeah.
Because you need to be duplicated quadruple times. You're, you know, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Appreciate
you know, the module that you're bringing into the media, when I say gas on, gas can't come off. That's it.
Well, I did learn to drive in Italy, and they like driving fast.
And now you come over here and it's a different steering wheel on a different side.
It is. It's automatic too.
But you multitask at all times.
Gotcha.
And you're a global, a world traveler, right? And not only propagating peace, you're a father, you're a friend, you're a brother, and you're definitely appreciated. And I love this platform and what you're going to do and the change that's going to be implemented in the community from it.
Means a lot. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
My
appreciate you.
Bless.
Peace Starts With Me podcast is produced and directed by A. Curtis Farrow. Assistant producer, Koichi Nakai. Associate producers, Albin Gaval, Ron Lucas, Terry Gadsden, and William Lagrateria. Editor, Albin Gaval. Audio engineer, Oji Bahian. Media director, Robert W. Alexander of 360 Wise Media. And PR and branding by Irving Street Rep.